cycle of Gerbera is around 3 years. Plant first 21 days, that is for plant establishment. I just want to give brief about the life cycle of the Gerbera. So first 21 days we concentrate on development of the plant. Then from 21 days till 75 days, it's a vegetative stage of the plant. So in this particular period, 75 days we need for vegetative growth. After that, a generative phase. Total plant population, if you ask me, for 1 acre is around 24,000, and average number of flower per plant is around 40 flowers per plant per year. Cropping pattern is continuous. You will get, after 3 months you will get flower continuously for 3 years. Water requirement is generally around 300 to 700 ml per plant per day, depend on the climate and requirement. This is a general life cycle of the Gerbera. So this is the hardened plant. Whenever you go for any plantation, initially you have to look into hardened plant, because if you want to success the project, your quality of the planting material has to be very good. Of course, you go for good greenhouse, good irrigation system, good management, but if you don't plant good quality planting material, you don't get the success. So these are the parameters you have to look into. First, plant has to be 5 to 6 healthy leaves. It has to have a profuse root system, vigorous growing tips. It has to be free from pests and diseases, and height should be around 8 to 10 centimeter. So this is the first and most important criteria as far as plant is concerned. We used various types of plugs. Right now we are doing in high fall plug. The reason for changing Jiffy into high fall is a proper aeration, and there is no any mortality in the plant once you do plantation in the greenhouse. So now we have changed. Of course, Jiffy is also good, high fall is also good. So now we have shifted from Jiffy to high fall, because there won't be any issues related to mortality because of the aeration, and degradation is very slow. So your plant is there in the greenhouse till certain period, means initial mortality was not there. That is what our observation is there. Site selection, I don't think I should go into this, but quickly I will tell. It has to be leveled, no wind breaks, no high tension wires, easy access to highways. That is what the thing we look for any crop. Whatever the crop you are going, you should look into this. Climate requirement for Gerbera. Temperature, you can grow Gerbera from 15 degrees to 40 degrees. Even in Nagpur in 48 degrees they are doing, but with specifically changes in the greenhouse and some modification in the management of the crop. But ideal temperature for Gerbera is 15 to 40 degrees. Humidity, it's around 60 to 70%. Light intensity requirement is around 35 to 40,000 lux. This is what the requirement of Gerbera. I don't want to go into working guidelines for greenhouse. This is the very important thing again, because it is heart of your greenhouse. Bed material collection and mixing. We suggest red soil, FYM, sand and rice husk. These are the 4 initial material we use for making beds for Gerbera. Red soil, we use red soil because leaching out is very fast. Then whatever nutrient required we can give in this particular red soil. FYM, this is very important. FYM has to be fully decomposed. Most of the people they recommend go for 30%. Sir also told, but whatever you use as a basic material FYM, it has to be fully decomposed. If it is not decomposed, most of the nutrient what you give, that is utilized only for the decomposition of FYM. It is not utilized by the plant. So whenever you go for FYM, it has to be fully decomposed. Sand or rice husk, it depends on your soil texture. If it is very clay, then you can add and you can increase the porosity. Uniform bed mixing is very important. Here people they make the mistake. If you do this properly, then you can grow your crop for 3 years. If you make mistake here itself, most of the people when they go for bigger areas, they get exhausted in erecting the greenhouse, installing the irrigation system, and the time when most of your strength, that is production part, is concerned, people don't look into that and then they lose the crop. This is the most important part where we have to look into. This is a composition for clay soil and then maybe silty or loamy soil. In Bangalore they have good soil. So red soil 55%, sand around 15%, FYM 30%, rice husk we suggest 4 kg per square meter. So this is what the material we suggest. And then for silty loam soil around 60% soil, then 10% sand, FYM around 30% and rice husk we reduced 2.5 kg per square meter. This is the bed material composition for Gerbera. This is the dimension of the bed. Top of the bed is 60 centimeter, bottom is 70 centimeter, height of the bed is 45 centimeter. This is very specific because if you don't maintain height of 45 centimeter, root system of that particular Gerbera, it goes up to 45 centimeter. So you need 45 centimeter height specifically for Gerbera. So this is how you have to make the beds. I have just shown the samples below that. This is totally depend on your soil. Maybe it vary for Punjab, it is vary for Bangalore. In Punjab, what I observed, the soil pH is more than 8. So there we have to reclaim the soil with sulfuric acid because they have calcium carbonate, 8 to 9% calcium carbonate we observed. So we reclaim it with sulfuric acid and then we make it, try to make it to the normal, and then after that we add basal dose as per the requirement. This is the water quality standard for floriculture. I think sir already explained very well about this. This is a basic requirement of water quality for floriculture. pH is around 5, then EC is around 0.7. So we use 7 ml of this in case it is 50% of silver H2O2. Then we spray it, we shower it. We suggested in 2 ways, 50% solution we shower it and 50% we allow through drip, because we saw very effective in this way. It is what our experience. In our demo house in Pune, we tried it for last 3 years and we come to conclusion that if we give in this particular way, effectivity is good. So this is the new thing we have come up as far as soil sterilization is concerned. You can do the plantation within 6 hours period. It is eco-friendly and there won't be any issues like other product, because if you don't leach out properly your formaldehyde or whatever chemical you are using, it is very hazardous to the plant. In this way it is very easy, economical and very effective way of doing sterilization.
So how can we understand that 7 ml per liter, 50% solution per 1 acre, how many liters it will be sold?
It is around 120 to 125 liter per acre.
You recommend only H2O2 with silver nitrate?
Yes, we recommend only with silver because it stabilizes the product. If you use only silver,
H2O2.
Yeah, only H2O2 if you do, the product is stabilized because of the silver. So you go for H2O2 with silver, then only the activity will be continued and product effectivity is there.
What I am asking is only for the purpose of fumigation or what?
Initially it is only for the fumigation purpose. There are various uses. Even I think sir explained about the storage of the water. So if it is continued for, let's say, more period, there are chances of bacterial infection if it is stored for long time. So even in that case, if you could add something in that as a silver H2O2, it will be effective. Even you can use this for powdery mildew, for the spray. Even for fungal diseases you can use. Even for bacterial infection you can use. Even for scara flies you can use this. So we tried at our demo houses for various purpose and you can use this. Even for existing plantation you can do that. Regarding planting, row to row distance is around 37 centimeter, plant to plant is 30 centimeter. So plant population, if you ask me for gross, it is 6 plant per square meter and net it is 9 plant per square meter. This is what the planting density is concerned. I have specifically shown the picture showing 25% above the soil. When you do this plantation in jiffy or any high fall plug, you have to make sure when you do the plantation, 75% portion of your jiffy has to go into the soil and 25% above the soil, because if you do like this, there won't be any direct contact of your crown portion with the soil. And if in initial stage moisture is more and if you don't keep like this, then there might be chance of increasing humidity in crown portion level, and there is chance of getting mortality. So specifically we tell, whenever you do the plantation, 75% portion of your jiffy has to go into the soil and 25% above the soil, just to avoid mortality in the initial phase. So this is how you make the beds. After that you have to make the holes on the bed, and you have to do the plantations. Specifically in this I have also shown how to remove the plant from the trays, because initially you have to remove all the side plants and then you have to go inside. In this way there won't be any problem, any issues to the plants. So this is what the first 21 days schedule we give to the grower. Initially, if you see, we keep some fungicides like Bavistine and M45, then some silicon just to strengthen the plant, because the role of silica is that. After that we also recommend some chemicals, because in initial stage if there is any infestation, this is a preventive schedule. Then some Nimazole just to create plant healthy. Silver H2O2 also we have recommended. So first 21 days our main focus is to survive the plant. How we can survive? Because in initial stage there is no rooting system. So if you give phosphorus, humic acid, rooting system is good. If you keep silver H2O2 or some chemical, you can reduce the fungal problem or whatever insect problems are there. So our main focus for first 21 days is to survive the plant. So these are the fertilizer grade we use in Gerbera. In vegetative stage we use 19-all and your phosphorus grades like 12-61-0. Generative stage, that is for flowering, specifically we tell people to get the report, detailed analysis report. If your soil is alkaline, then grades are different. If your soil is acidic, the grades are different. So for alkaline soil we use 16-8, 24, 00, 50, calcium nitrate, magnesium sulfate. These are the grades we recommend, and this is for acidic soil, 13, 0, 45, 0, 52, 34, magnesium nitrate. All those grades we recommend. So we make the survey which part of the country you are doing, what are the soil parameters, and accordingly we recommend the fertilizer grades. These are the post planting cultural operation like disbudding. So initially up to 70 days we have to remove the buds and allow the leafy growth. So we remove the budding. After that, de-leafing. If growth is too much, if aeration is not there, then you will face lot of problem related to fungus or maybe insects and pests, because if too much of foliage is there, you cannot take spray in a proper way. So de-leafing operation we recommend. Raking, whenever there is requirement of raking just for aeration to remove your algal growth, we suggest them to go for raking. So these are the cultural operations what we do in Gerbera.
Optimum number of leaves per production?
Around 20 to 25. Depend on the variety, because some varieties they have big leaf, so there you need only 15 leaves. Some leaves they are serrated type like variety Goliath, so there you need more number of leaves. Harvesting, grading and packing, I will show the pictures. So this is how the maturity indices. 2 to 3 volts of the stamen, once they ready, you have to harvest the crop. I think sir explained very well about post harvesting. I don't have to go into that. Production cycle, duration of the crop around 24 to 30 months. First flowering starts from 2.5 to 3 months and yield is around 240 flower. So 6 plant, that is around 40 flower per plant per year. That is the production. In north, where your climate is drastic, production goes up to 32 to 36 flower. But the area like Maharashtra, I have examples of 2-3 grower, production goes up to 48 flowers to 50 flower. So yes, there is one grower called A1 Roses, Abaji Chavan. He is the best grower. Even in Bangalore there are a lot of grower who is taking 48 to 50 flowers. If you maintain it properly, if you maintain greenhouse, I always tell that people, they are erecting the greenhouse, they are installing the greenhouse, they are not operating the greenhouse. There are few slides I want to show specifically apart from this, because it is very important. cultivation part is different, but if you go for these particular practices, for every crop it is very important. So this is how they pack. Good flower stalk length is around 45 to 55 centimeter, diameter 10 to 12. This is what the market requirement is there. Waste life is 8 to 10 days. This is how they pack the things. One bunch is of 10 flower and they put into big box, around 35 to 40 bunches, 350 to 400 flower in one box. Accordingly they send it. So this is the box size, 100 into 40 into 20, number of bunches around 50. It is little on higher side. Now they pack only 350 flowers. This is the packing in Holland or in Europe. Here they have only 52 flowers, but in our condition the cost of the packing is very high, so we have recommended only the other system, what I have mentioned in the second photo. These are the major pests: thrips, spider mites, cyclamen mites, whitefly, leaf miner, caterpillar. Diseases, main diseases: crown rot, root rot, fusarium wilt, fungal complex, botrytis, powdery mildew. These are the major diseases if you don't operate the greenhouse. That is what I am again repeating. Most of the people, they are just erecting the greenhouse. If they operate the greenhouse, you can avoid these problems. Common deficiencies, all the element, if you don't follow it, you will get deficiency symptoms. So this is the comparison of pot cultivation of Gerbera versus soil cultivation. In soil, in pot you can avoid soil related issues because you are you are not doing that in particularly soil, but buffering is required in coco pit. Apart from that, you have to give precise nutrient because there is no buffer at all, no nutrient at all. So at least 4 to 5 times you have to divide the fertilizer and you have to give it. Then daily monitoring is very important. You have to monitor pH, EC of the leachates, everything you have to monitor. Spread of the pest and disease can be greatly reduced. Of course, I have my own doubts in this. If you don't operate the greenhouse, pest and diseases will come. But you can avoid problems whatever we are facing in soil. In soil, there is a continuous bed. Let's say you plant 100 plant or 200 plant. If there is any problem, it can spread through the soil. In pot, if there is any issue, you can remove that particular pot and then you can stop the issues. In pot, the plantation per square meter is around 7.5. So more number of plant you can accommodate in particularly pot plant. So 28,000 plants you can accommodate in 1 acre area. On other side, in soil, 24,000 plants.
So we make racks like for all?
No, you cannot do that. Benches, but same again, then you are doing same thing. Na? If it is continuous, then the problem will go from one plant to other plant.
Maintenance cost is comparatively higher.
15 to 20% cost is higher if you go in pot. But how you can, what you say, if you do in pot, the number of plant what you planted is around 28,000.
Yes.
So production part you can achieve in that. Yes, and then you can reduce soil related all issues.
Yeah. Tell me, for 1 acre of pot cultivation, how much investment is?
10 to 15% more.
That's all.
Yes, there are various ways you can do in trough also, but then if we compare between hydroponics, different things, plantation in mud pot is excellent. This is what our experience is.
So mud pot with stands with media,
Yes.
it will just cost only 20%.
15% more cost. Yeah, we have very big projects now in soilless cultivation. Star, they are doing almost 38 acre Gerbera in soilless cultivation. Shrivardhan, they have 18 acres. This is all in Maharashtra, in Sangli. There is one grower, Abaji Chavan, I told you about him. He also changed everything into pot because soil is the limiting factor now. Fortunately, unfortunately, God has stopped creating new land, new soil. So there are a lot of limitation as far as soil is concerned, and you can avoid lot of issues related to soil. But you have to be very precise when you go to that particular soil-less cultivation. You have to be precise, management has to be there, proper monitoring of PHEC is required, because if you make any single mistake, then you have to suffer for another 10-15 days, because there is no buffer at all in the coco peat. I don't want to tell that you have to remove everything within 3 years period. If you get good quality flower, if your plant health is good, yes, you can continue.
Srivardhan, what they did after 12 years in the potted plant with Gerbera, they took the harvest of the cut flower, and after that they sold the pot at same price which they bought the initial planting material. So after 12 years in the soilless. So that is one big advantage of the soilless that I have seen with my eyes, and the plant was of course from them.
Yeah, if quality is good, then you can continue.
I told Manish,
Life.
it may hamper your business, but tell them the life.
No, it is true that some people, they are taking Gerbera for 3 years, 4 years, 5 years. But if you properly operate, if you do it in a proper way, yes, you can continue for another 1 or 2 years. If you get same quality, no problem, because other side you are giving same fertilizer, same type of labor you are using, so you are paying same. If you don't get quality, then don't continue. If you get quality, yes, you can do that.
Not all the varieties.
Yeah, with few varieties you can do that. Few varieties you can continue up to 3 years, 4 years.
For this pot cultivation, we can go for roses, carnation.
I think Roses sir can tell, we can do that. Already he explained I think. Carnation you can do in trough.
Roses is very good in the soilless growing troughs, which comes in 25 meters, 40 centimeter width, and 17 to 20 centimeter height.
Correct.
You can go in continuous troughs.
Replant Gerbera with Gerbera in the same soil.
Yeah.
So Mahesh is going in for roses where he has removed 5-year-old Gerbera.
Yes.
Mahesh Jain.
Correct.
I am looking at roses in his farm.
Correct.
And the same thing for roses. You cannot go in for roses replanting in the same soil.
Correct.
The other question is, what is the drain percentage you have in rock coco peat?
Coco peat, we maintain, let's say 10% to 25% drainage.
Drainage.
Yes.
And you don't use it, you just let
Yeah,
it go.
we don't use it.
Okay.
Sir, when it comes to root system, it's a deep-rooted system. No, how can we...
If you go in coco peat, that is sufficient. Volume is sufficient. That particular 5.
But in case of pot Gerbera, you're saying...
Yeah, that is, in soil it is different, but 5 liter volume is enough for Gerbera. And if you go in coco peat. So we are using 5 liter coco peat pot.
So the Gerbera roots will go up to 60 centimeters.
Yes, 45.
40%.
Yeah, that is what I am telling. In soil it is different. In this you have sufficient volume. Whatever 5 liter pot we are using, it is sufficient. Pardon?
When we do the soil analysis for the pH and EC level,
Please go to that previous photo.
Just.
There you will get a land, no? You can grow something on that?
No, you cannot.
You can't. Okay.
Light is also required. Na?
Oh, okay. Even grasses, small grasses we can grow.
Leather ones you can grow.
Something.
Leather ones.
If you go any other crop, there are then different issues. Some thrips, mites, or your pest problem, disease problem, all those things come. So you cannot do that. Yes, what is your question?
my question is, you said before you start the project, you do the soil analysis, right? But invariably the source red soil from somewhere else,
Correct.
right? But how do, at the beginning of project, how do you do that?
No, you can check only pH and EC
pH and
initially.
EC of the
pH
soil,
of the soil and yes, EC of the soil.
But you said the roots of the plant do not go beyond 45 centimeters.
Correct.
Does that still influence your plant growth?
No,
I mean,
what,
your original soil properties.
what we
will
do,
influence-
we put murum layer on the bottom of the,
What he's saying is, because most of the soil is not good in the original land,
yes,
so they are putting the red soil from some other source.
correct.
So we have to do the analysis of the red soil.
Yeah, red soil. You have to do analysis of that red soil. No.
So in such a case, when we submit our report to the department, the pH level of the existing soil does not really make any sense, isn't it?
No.
But they ask for it.
No, but it is not required. The soil which you are going for plantation, the same soil you have to do it.